Tesla Model S, 2014 vintage, old car. How does an old Tesla stack up? What's gone wrong? What's good about it? What's bad about it? What's completely outdated? Would you get another one? Let's find out.
Sounds good.
So how's the signal strength here?
1 bar.
1 bar?
1 bar.
Can we play a bit of Voodoo Punch?
Sure, no problem.
Hey, that's me. That's amazing quality.
That's at 9.
This is not Wayne's World. I like your t-shirt, mate. Are you a fan of the band? Or are you just angry about combustion engines?
No, I love Rage Against the Machine.
It works pretty well, Mark. No, start her up.
We're going.
Oh, there's a certain calmness to the whole ambience of getting going, isn't there?
Yep.
Even that whole process of just not cranking an engine and idling and all that.
Well, there's a heap of things you don't have to worry about anymore. Right? And the motor is just one of them. You get in, press the foot on the brake and go.
Are you a Greenie zealot?
No. I just like fast cars.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so this is a
S85.
S85 Tesla Model S, not the performance.
Not the performance. Not the performance.
Seems to perform pretty well.
It's not bad. It's the same 0 to 100 as my old V8 Porsche, 5.6.
5.6. Okay.
Which by today's standards is not
Yeah.
not blisteringly fast, but it's not slow either. Yeah, the Model S Plaid is the new one. That's 0 to 100. If you're on a sticky surface, in under 2 seconds, and 9.2 seconds for the quarter mile, which, I mean, that is ridiculous. When I first drove a Tesla Roadster back in 2011, what amazed me was the throttle response that I got and how it felt like I was driving a manual but always in the right gear without having to worry about being in the right gear.
You're not as fast as a B double, mate. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, you are as fast as a B double.
Ordered it in January 2012.
You're an early adopter, aren't you?
Very much so. I wanted to make sure that Tesla actually saw demand in Australia and shipped cars here.
Okay. Can I ask what you paid for it?
140 grand.
And what's it worth now, 8 years later?
About 60, maybe 65.
Okay, that's actually, compared to other luxury cars, quite good.
Yeah.
So what if you did have 60 grand to spend and you were looking for a luxury sports saloon that could take 4, maybe 5 adults in comfort, but at a bargain price? Something with about the same age, mileage, performance, size and weight, but a prestigious car. If it was me, I'd probably test drive something like this Audi S6, also worth about 60 grand now. Twin turbo 4-litre V8 with over 400 horses that'll whisk me up to 100 k's a full second quicker than the Tesla through its 7-speed DSG and all-wheel drive. And Audi does make gorgeous quality interiors. I could be tempted. Perhaps this Beamer 650i. Well over 200 grand when it was new. Even more powerful, with 440 horses and 650 newton meters. While we're talking German, how about this Mercedes-AMG E63? Thumping big V8 with over 500 horsepower. $250,000 car, could be mine today for 60 grand. All of them rewarding and flattering cars with gorgeous sounding V8s. But compared to the Tesla, so much complexity under the bonnet and in the drivetrain. And they each have reputations for high maintenance costs and the occasional nasty expensive surprise. 100,000 Ks and getting close to 10 years old. Is it worth the risk? And of course they're thirsty. They only like premium fuel. That's $100 a tank full. Could it be that an American electric car is actually the sensible choice and still be almost as much fun as the Germans? I don't know.
Especially if I take into account the money I haven't spent on petrol in the meantime.
Yes, how much? Your old V8 Porsche that you had before this?
Yep.
How much did you spend on petrol in that?
$100 a week.
$100 a week. How much did you spend on volts for this?
Under $400 a year.
$400 a year.
A year.
But you've got unlimited supercharging
I
in
do.
this car.
But then it'd be inconvenient for me because I'd have to go somewhere else to fill up with electrons.
Is there a reason you don't have your hands on the steering wheel, mate?
Yeah, because we're on autopilot.
Ah,
I need to keep some pressure on this or it'll complain.
okay. Yeah, and then it gets narky with you.
Yep. Then it'll pull over and stop.
You wait half an hour until you say sorry, you don't get autopilot back again. And then it just say sorry and it says, you didn't mean that, say it like you mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the biggest convenience factors in driving an electric is that you never have to go to a petrol station ever. So going to a supercharger is convenient, and for me it's free. For new cars, it's not. With me, I just come home, plug the car in, and it's full every morning when I come down to it.
Okay. And if you do a long trip, like you went to Brisbane a week or so ago?
Yeah, you just supercharge along the way. Is our average consumption over the last 50 k's,
Yep.
which is showing 208, which is a bit higher than what I normally do.
But it's dropped right down in the last 5 minutes since we got on the freeway.
Yeah, and as we're coming down this hill,
The range is going up.
yeah, right, it's pacing the car in front, regenerating, creating electricity and charging the batteries as we're coming down the hill. Yeah.
Right, well, let me ask you, when these cars came out, and people often say, oh mate, don't buy one of them because in 5 years' time when the batteries are worn out, those lithium batteries are a toxic, non-renewable garbage, and you've got to throw the whole car away. You can't change them. The car's got to be throwaway.
Yep, wrong. This has got now just on 110,000 kilometres on it.
Yep.
It's 7 years old. When I got it, the 90% charge on it in the morning when you came down was 350 kilometres, thereabouts. It's currently saying 262.
Yep.
I know that if I'm looking and I want to go somewhere and it's 260 kilometres away, I know I'm going to make it.
Okay, you can trust it.
I can trust it.
Oh my God, it's a speed camera and it's 100. What are we doing?
90.
Oh,
Yeah,
we better brake anyway, just to be sure.
Yeah.
Just go back to 70
Yeah,
with a B double right up your bum.
yeah, that's about right.
Okay, so let's have the real world experience. In your years of ownership of this car, what's gone wrong? Because this was a very new car. Okay. Hey, another speed camera. Hey.
Yeah. They wouldn't try and entrap you at all, would they? What's gone wrong? Tesla did replace the drive unit in this car at about 40,000 k's.
Under warranty?
Under warranty. They did that because the car was making a little bit of noise. You couldn't hear it inside, but when you drove in a quiet car park, you could hear it making noise.
Okay.
And what Tesla were doing in those days was, instead of trying to work out what the problem was with the car, they would just replace the drive unit.
Okay.
What else have I had?
What else have you done?
The
Display.
display failed.
Okay.
Beginning of 2020.
Oh, that's expensive.
It was $4,000.
Ooh.
However, Tesla have subsequently acknowledged that it was a design fault with a memory chip that's in all of the early generation cars, and they replaced them all under warranty and refunded people who paid for the repair.
Okay. So that didn't end up costing you either.
No. So I've upgraded this now to the later entertainment computer. The benefit of that is that it now has 4G, like LTE connectivity in the car, where it had 3G in the original car.
Which leads to the topic of the car that upgrades itself. I believe if you park it at night and you come out the next morning, it could be a different car. Like it could have a different set of wheels on it and it'd be a different colour and...
Kind of. It can get faster with a over-the-air upgrade. That has happened. The whole time I've had this car, it's been getting constant upgrades and adding new features.
What kind of things?
So the first upgrade that I got turned on the radar cruise control. Autopilot came in as an upgrade over the air as well.
Okay.
The maps are constantly upgraded, so the maps are always up to date.
Features like summon, that wasn't anything.
Summon didn't exist, no.
This car has it.
This car has it. You can effectively get the car to drive itself in and out of the parking spot.
With startled pedestrians chasing after empty vehicles,
It's okay.
Tesla's latest cutting-edge software is driving concern into high gear again.
I've used it a number of times, especially if you come back to your car and it's raining and there's another car right next to you and you're going to get covered in water. You'll just drive the car forward. It's brilliant. This interface has changed a number of times while I've had the car. The whole dashboard layout has changed a number of times as well.
All right, so we're getting onto some twisty roads now. So it's often said that this is a car for people who don't want to drive. They want the car to do everything for them.
Yeah, rubbish.
Sorry, Mark. Mark Williamson.
Yeah, rubbish. I bought this car because I like performance cars. I bought this car as well because I could see that electric was the future. despite loving my Porsche, I had a 928 GT, 5-speed manual, 5-litre V8.
Yep.
Drove that car for 14 years. It's more a fact that this does everything so easily. It really does do everything so easily. This is an early car. This is not all-wheel drive either. This is a rear-wheel drive car.
Yep.
So you do get that dynamic where you can balance the car with the throttle.
Now here we go. This is only a 2-wheel drive car, and we've got a wet road, and it's quite twisty.
Yeah,
it's not rolling. It's 2.1 tonne.
And I'm not using the brakes.
Aren't you?
And
yet it's braking quite hard into some of these bends.
Yep. So that's
regenerative.
That's me regenning into that
Wow.
and then balancing it through. Now that's what sold me on electric, because this is like driving a manual, and you're just holding it down in the right gear so that you've got some engine braking.
There is quite a significant difference I can feel already between this car and the latest $200,000 Porsche Taycan.
I'd expect there to be. Well, this is a 7-year-old or nearly 8-year-old car.
Yeah.
That's fundamentally a 2012 design.
This is a beautiful long sweeper here. It's quite tight, tighter than it looks on camera. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, quite a lot of braking, considering you haven't even got your foot on the brake pedal.
Yeah, not even touching the brake pedal.
Yeah, nice.
And then if you want to power out,
yeah, oh, it does go.
Navigate to Central Coast Supercharger. There we go, Tesla Supercharger.
There you go. She was listening. 62%. So we don't really need to.
We don't really need to at all.
But just for fun, we'll see how the process works. Whoosh, away we go. Yeah, that's really good. That is really good power.
That's not bad. Overtaking becomes effortless, really.
Yeah.
You don't even have to worry about kickdown. Get on the freeway where it's boring, put it back into autopilot. I know Mark thinks that Tesla owners want the car to do everything for them, and he's wrong. I want the car to be able to do things for me on bits like this that I'm not particularly interested in driving on.
Oh, I'm sure you'd agree there.
So,
yeah, Mark, you still got your job. It's okay.
So one of the things that I've noticed with the autopilot, it takes a lot of the stress off you because you're not concentrating full on for the entire time.
The car's now maintaining its distance to the car in front, is it not?
Yes, it is.
And what's more, let's say you had a Pantech in front of you, and something bad happens in front of the Pantech.
Yep. And
you don't see it.
This will see it. The car will see
it
before you do. It's got the radar cruise, and it bounces it under the car in front.
Even though we had a good gap to it.
So here we go. This is someone pulling classic Audi.
Yep. So when you pull over, you're meant to keep a 2-second gap, right? So he's come off, he's virtually shaved your bumper and screw you, Audi driver. And the car's just quietly gone, okay.
Yeah, and backed off.
I'm cool with this. There aren't many for sale on car sales. I only found 4.
Yep.
And between $65,000 and $85,000.
Yep. I did buy this car knowing that it would depreciate though, because the technology is improving at such a rapid rate. The current version of this is got much more range, much more performance, and pretty well the same price.
You plug in the car and it goes, oh, it's Mark's car.
That's right.
He gets it for nothing.
That's right.
Look, Tesla superchargers. Look at that, nice reversing camera.
We park it and walk away. Get ourselves a coffee.
So
what I can do is I can say set limit, wind it up to trip.
Yep. Sorry about the strobing, everybody.
Done. Tesla put an update out, which is one of the updates that you probably don't like as much, which did slow down the charging.
To protect the life of the battery?
To extend the life of the battery. It only affects really the first generation of batteries, which this one has. And if you're driving a current car, like a Model 3, this would be charging 3 or 4 times faster than this.
Okay. There's no reason that, technology-wise, couldn't work with any other electric vehicle?
No reason at all.
Okay.
All they need to do is work out the billing.
There's still plenty of other networks popping up. I mean, Tesla was here first, but now the other ones are all popping up, ChargeFox and all the others. And
So EV and ChargeFox and those guys.
Yep.
I mean, bear in mind when Tesla first did this, there weren't any other options, and supercharging was free.
Yep.
Right, so they didn't need to give it to anyone else, and they didn't want to give it to anyone else. But with them charging for these electrons, then why not charge someone else?
Yep. It was over 100 Ks.
Yeah, we put over 100 Ks in.
Just like
But
that.
it's
By the
three-
time we've had a coffee.
Yeah, it's 321 now.
Let's come back to maintenance. What's going to break on it? How many brake pads have you put in this car since in 100,000 Ks in 8 years?
None.
You never put brakes in the car?
Never put
Not
brakes
even
in.
pads?
Last time I had it serviced, they said that I had about 2 millimetres of wear, or 1.5 millimetres of wear on the brake pads.
Okay.
When I first got the car, Tesla used to want to see it every year. Now they say bring it in when there's something wrong. The only thing that they really service on it is the air conditioning to make sure that that's gassed properly.
So it's minor stuff.
Minor bits and pieces.
Cruise control on, autopilot on.
Yep.
Not full autopilot, it's just staying in your lane and maintaining a gap and keeping an eye out for dingbats. So people that say, oh, they're fine getting off the mark, but they got no top end grunt. Okay. It's perfectly acceptable acceleration.
Yeah.
This is, by Tesla standards, a slow car.
This is one of the slowest Teslas that you can get. For 150,000, you can buy a Tesla Model S long range,
Yeah.
which is 0 to 103.2
Yeah.
with a 600 kilometre range.
Yes. That's the slowest one you can
That's
buy.
the slowest one you can buy of a Model S.
Now, lovely long sweep of this one, down to the river. The seat does not have enough bolster and side support. I'm sitting,
Not at all. The later ones, the bolster on them is a lot better.
yeah. Right, lovely sweeping bends. This is a good challenge. Dips and troughs. Yeah, nice pick up there out of that one.
Do you feel the back move just a little bit then?
Yeah, trail brake in. Just hold the line. Model 3s are really spacious inside.
Model 3's not bad.
It'd be hard to argue against going that option.
I mean, the fact that this is a big hatchback makes it a lot more practical in the Model 3.
If you're not mad about the very austere, this is a Scandinavian apartment look to the Model 3,
Yep.
this one at least has a conventional dash as well as the big display.
Yep.
And this all works really, really well. So if you like having your speedo right in front of you, there's that. Model 3 doesn't have air suspension at all, does it?
Not at all.
Okay. So when you do sell it, no doubt another electric vehicle will replace it. What do you
Yep.
think that might be?
Probably another Model S.
Tight corner here. You can feel it loading up the outside rears, putting a bit of load on the tyres, but it stays really flat. Hook it in, round we go. Oh, doesn't it pull out a little bit of traction control happening there?
Yep.
Just a little, and your jacket's flying around in the back there. Really stealth mode, isn't it?
It is. I love this little flick here.
This is a beautiful little dip here. Yep. Oh, this car goes like no 2,100 kilogram car should go. And look, you're still doing legal speed. How about that? Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Tesla.
Yeah.
At the risk of sounding like a couple of Tesla fanboys, that's a pretty good car.
I like it.
Yeah. So I see in the paper today that Tesla is thinking about opening a supercharger network to the other brands. That'd be a two-edged sword, wouldn't it? Surely that'll give away sales to other manufacturers.
You'd think it might, but Tesla's stated objective is to increase the uptake of electric vehicles, so it's in line with their charter.
Well, good on them. Hey, listen, if you're not into EVs, fine. You don't have to like them, but better get used to seeing them because there's going to be a frigging lot of them on the road.
They're coming.
Any regrets about electric?
No regrets. A thing like buying a new computer. Every time you wait a year, the computer specs get better. When do you jump in and do
Yeah.
it? Because you're constantly waiting, going, oh, look,
Yeah.
the new one is doing X.
Yep.
But yeah,
And you look back a year later and go, oh, if only I'd waited, it would have got all these extra. Although in the case of Tesla, you probably get those extra things anyway because there's no concept of a year model. They just morph into something new. I just want to say thank you on record to Mark here. This is not the usual Mark, it's a different Mark for the use of your Tesla. Thanks for a great review, really enjoyed it.
no problem. Thoroughly enjoyed it myself.
So that's the Tesla Model S. The world moves very fast, and even though this car is still getting updates while Mark sleeps, it doesn't have all the latest features, range and performance of the latest Teslas. But it's still a remarkable and reliable luxury car that's very cheap to own and run, and in percentage terms, holding its value very well. Here's how I scored it. There's one other aspect to Tesla ownership. The whole cult of electric Jesus thing tends to polarise opinions like no other car brand, so get ready for conversations with strangers. Wild enthusiasm one day, bit of hostility the next. But maybe being part of the Tesla community is actually no different from being part of any other enthusiastic car club. So I'd like to thank Mark, whose enthusiasm and knowledge of Tesla is quite evident. Alright, so what do you think of the space? It's quite comfy here, eh?
Yeah, look, very, very spacious, but as you said before, needs a bit more bolstering. But very comfy.
Yeah, well, the centre seat's nothing special. How about you?
It's quite comfy and there's plenty of space, but just the floor's too high.
Yeah, well, of course, because the batteries are under there, that's why. How about you, buddy?
Oh yeah, suppose so.
Typical.
Well, that was helpful.
Oh hey, you made it right through to the end of the video. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please share it with your motoring friends. And above all, click the little subscribe thing down here so you can see the latest videos when we bring them out, hopefully each week. I look forward to seeing you soon.